This is the Mazda 3 Turbo, and it's the most powerful Mazda 3 you can buy. Enthusiast drivers have been clamoring for a more powerful Mazda 3 ever since the Mazda Speed 3 went away in 2013. The question becomes, is the Mazda 3 Turbo good enough to fill that void? Let's find out. Those enthusiast drivers I was talking about, they speak of the old Mazda Speed 3 as if it was some sort of holy object. And look, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but the truth is that car was a bit too boy racer. And what I mean by that was, it was manual only, it made a lot of power, but it torque steered like crazy. Now, the Mazda 3 Turbo here, it actually makes more torque than the old Speed 3, but since it's all-wheel drive, it won't have torque steer. What does this car compete with? It's in a strange space. It's kind of a tweener. It's not quite as powerful as the Hyundai Veloster N, but it's competes better against the Hyundai Veloster Turbo. It's not quite the performance you get with a Honda Civic Type R, but it's a little bit more than you get with a Honda Civic Si. So when you look at it and you look at the performance, you look at the value proposition, you look at the design, the Mazda 3 Turbo potentially has a lot to offer. Mazda introduced an entirely new design language with the 3 because they want to take the entire brand upscale. Here with the hatchback, what they did is they de-chromed its face. Now, that can go one of two ways. Sometimes if you pull all the chrome off a car, it looks cheap, like an old Saturn. However, sometimes it looks quite sinister, and I think Mazda is firmly on the cool, sinister side of things. The only bright work up front is on the badge, and that's good. You're supposed to draw attention to the badge, right? As you come back down the car, you start to notice like, wow, this is really nice paint. And Mazda, they've always had great paint, especially their reds. But they also always do kind of ticky-tack wheels. I don't know what it is, Mazda, they never put great looking wheels on a car. You keep coming down the side of the car, the surfacing is good, the line works good, this chrome strip is cool, everything's good until you get to this C-pillar, and it's challenging. It's just a huge piece of metal, but overall, this is a very premium looking, very mature design, and it's certainly better than what the competition is offering. Jaw drop. Look at this interior. Again, this is a car that competes with like a Honda Civic. Okay, when Mazda says, hey, we want to take the whole brand up market, we want to go premium. Now this is the Premium Plus model, but again, it's not that much money, and the first thing that grabs your eye is this beautiful red leather. It's burgundy, it's stitched, it's on tons of surfaces, including the seats. It's just great, and you wouldn't see leather this nice in cars that cost a lot more. Next up is the Brightwork, and Brightwork's just like, a lot of the chrome pieces, the metal pieces. They're not really chrome. They're plastic that looks chrome, but still they look good. And some of them, like here on the door, they're actually designed really well. And then of course, the ultimate test, your elbows and the center armrest here and the door. What you're putting your elbows down on is really soft, actually soft. And it means after a long drive, your elbow's not gonna ache. Wow, this is how you do an interior. This is how you move a brand up market. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk performance. Mazda knows the North American market real well. With regular gas, the 2.5 liter inline-4 turbo makes 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Filled up with the good stuff, and suddenly you have 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque. It's the right thing to do. Put good gas in your vehicles, people. And now, the bad news. There's no manual, it's automatic only. That's right, Mazda, the Miata people, they don't put a stick shift into their sportiest hatchback. It's crazy, and it's not like they have some great dual clutch or 8 or 9 speed, 10 speed transmission. It's just an old 6-speed automatic. Emphasis on old. Now Mazda will say, well, we have such a big torque curve, you don't need a lot of gears, but they're not telling the truth. It's all they could afford to put into the car, and it's a shame because not only is it going to hurt performance a little bit, but it hurts fuel economy. This is not a big car, yet it only gets 23 miles a gallon around town, 31 on the highway. Not bad, but certainly could be better. In terms of straight line acceleration, this will hit 60 miles an hour in 5.9 seconds, which is on par with like a 2001 Subaru WRX, which, it's pretty good. It is quicker than stuff like the Mercedes-Benz A220 or the BMW 2 Series Grand Coupe, which are vehicles that Mazda wants to compete with by moving into the premium space. It's a second quicker than that Honda Civic Si, and it's not too far off what a Honda Civic Type R can do. But again, no manual. What were they thinking? The Mazda 3 Turbo is a very safe car. It gets the highest ratings possible from both safety organizations, and it comes with a bunch of standard active safety features that you would expect to find on cars in a more premium segment. Things like adaptive cruise control and rear cross traffic alert. What's it cost? Well, you can get into a base Mazda 3 for $23,500. If you want to step up to the Turbo, you're talking just under $32,000, and there's a Premium Plus version, which is getting close to $35,000. However, we know that the 3 Turbo has a lot of power, has a lot of performance, it's got a good exterior design, a great interior design, and a lot of standard features. So I think in that $32,000 to $35,000 neighborhood, this is a solid value. If there's one thing I want you to take away about the Mazda 3 Turbo, it's that you get a lot of car for your money. Look, time was not very long ago where 250 horsepower and 320 pound-feet of torque were the type of numbers you rode home about. It was a lot, and in reality, it still is. Yeah, it's automatic only, but most people don't buy manuals, and Mazda knows this. Over in Europe, Alfa Romeo, they sell cars like this. So here, there's a niche that needs to be filled, and I think the 3 Turbo fills it. So if you're looking for a practical, fun-to-drive car that really is nudging its way into the luxury premium segment, this could be your next car. To check out our latest vehicle rankings, go to motortrend.com/cars.